Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a ham for your Christmas dinner. You can do this in advance and slice it up and freeze it. You don't even have to slice it up for Christmas Day. Now I learned how to do this by accident one year. I had some leftover mulled wine and I thought, wonder what my ham would be like cooked in the mulled wine. So that's what I do from now on. It was an accident and it worked, so I do it from now on. So I have my ham here, and I'm literally just going to pop it straight in to my mulled wine that I had made the other day. Can you see in there? So I've got my mulled wine. If you're not sure how to make mulled wine, I made a video a couple of days ago on how to do that, so go back and look at that. You just need wine, 7-Up, apple or oranges, lemons, cloves, cinnamon, sugar and star anise. That's all you need. So I'm going to pop this on here and I'm going to put a lid on, bring it to the boil, and then I'm going to simmer it for about probably about 2 hours. It all depends on the weight of your ham. You cook it according to the weight of your ham. So I'll put all those instructions up there for you guys. So whenever it comes to the boil, I'm actually going to put it in my top left oven because that's what you do with an aga. But if you don't have one, you can just simmer it then for a few hours, and the smell in the house is going to be gorgeous. And then I'll show you what to do next. Good morning everybody, and today I am going to do the continuation of the ham that I cooked yesterday. So I left it sitting overnight in the pot that I cooked it in. And remember, I cooked it in the mulled wine that I had made, but halfway through the cooking I checked it and I added some more liquid to it, because what was happening is only the part of the ham that was seeped in the juice was starting to change color. So you want all of it to change color. So I just added some more 7-Up and a little bit of orange juice to that. You can just add water either if you like. So I'm just going to pop this out of the pot. It's a bit disgusting. Got little bits of fat hanging in there. And I'm going to remove the wrapper from here. Just give my hands a wee wipe. And what you're left with now is this fatty casing around your ham. Okay? And if you see here now, the ham has changed colour to a beautiful pinky kind of colour. And that's from the wine. Now, ideally, whenever you're finished cooking your ham and you take it out, while it's still warm, you peel back the hard part of the fat and it comes away easily. But I didn't do that last night, but you can still do it. What you need to do is get a knife and try and get in underneath. If you can see in here, this is hard fat and loose fat. We don't want to take away the loose fat because that's going to be our crackling, but we want our hard fat to come away. So you have to kind of try and get in there and prise it back whilst leaving a film of fat on there. Can you see that? And that's why it's easier. It's a whole lot easier to do when it's still slightly warm. It just literally peels back. But what it wants to do now, because it's cold, is take the lighter fat with it. Okay, I'm just going to rinse my hands super quick. So now this fat we can use to stud with our cloves. So again, using my knife, I'm just going to kind of crisscross a line. So I'm scoring it on the diagonal like that, and then again going across the opposite direction. So you're going to end up with little squares, and there, that'll be the marker for your cloves to go into. It's kind of a messy job. And you basically just press your cloves into each square section that you've cut. Does that make sense? So I'll just keep doing that, but in the meantime, what you need to do, so you do that all over. Oh, there's more fat here. I'll take that off as well. In the meantime, if you get a little saucepan and you heat up 50 grams of dark brown sugar, 50 grams of butter, and a tiny bit of the juice that your ham was cooked in. I probably filled it up to about to there. And I'm going to heat that up gently over here because that is going to be the glaze and that's going to go on top of the ham. So I'll keep studying this and then I'll come back. So here we go. Our sugar has, so you heat this up until all the sugar has dissolved. And I'm basically just going to pour this over the meat. So you can see I've studded the whole, all of the meat now with cloves and crisscrossed it all. I'll just get it to a point where it can sit. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to gently pour it all over the top, and that'll give it a lovely sticky glaze. Now, you don't probably need as much as I've done today, but my kids actually love this as a gravy, especially if we have this with, say, bacon and cabbage and potatoes, cabbage and potatoes. So you could cut the measurements by half because you really don't need enough. So I'm going to put that into a fairly warm oven, and you know, in about 10-15 minutes time, I'll lift the spoon and I'll pour it over, and I'll do that every 10 minutes or so until it's heated through. This little one here would probably take about a half an hour to heat through. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and cook your ham like I did yesterday in your mulled wine, and get it to the stage where you put your crisscrosses and put your little cloves in, and at that point you can freeze it. And on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve, take your ham out of your freezer, and then you can start with the glazing part and heat it up in the oven on Christmas Day. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But for the purposes of this video, we're actually going to eat this for dinner today so that you guys can see what it is like, the finished product. So this is my fairly hot oven I'm putting this into, and I will check it in about about 20 minutes, and I'll, you know, put the juice back over the top. I'll be back. So guys, that's been about 20 minutes in the oven now, and look how beautiful and golden and brown it's starting to turn. And you literally just do this, tip it on its side, gather up all those juices and pour them over the top, just like that. Now my oven might be a little bit too hot. I don't want this to burn, so I'm going to turn the oven down and put it into my lower oven, which will be about 170, just to make sure it's cooked, it's heated up right through to the middle. Does that make sense? Sorry, doggy. And pop it back in again. So that would take about another, maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour for that to heat right through to the middle. Okay. And here we go, guys. We have the final product here. I just took it out of the oven because it's just starting to darken a little bit. But I don't know if you can get a good idea of what that looks like from here, but it's just perfect, just delicious. So once you have heated it on Christmas Day, let it rest for at least 20 minutes before you start carving it. Otherwise it'll just crumble apart. Of course, I haven't done that now because I'm in a hurry and there's so much to be done at Christmas time. But I just wanted to cut it through a little bit so you can get an idea of how delicious that looks. How about that? Absolutely delicious. And here comes Dermot, just in time. That's our cooked ham, guys. God bless, and thanks for watching.